Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Hope you're having an incredible day, and may peace be upon you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. It takes courage with me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And today I am going to be debunking the myth about Ramadan and fasting and why Justin Bieber had a big misconception about Ramadan and fasting. If we haven't been properly introduced, I'm Dr. Izdihar Jamil. I'm a visibility expert, TEDx curator, and also best-selling author of Money Makers. And I just love helping leaders, thought leaders, entrepreneurs, coaches to be the go-to expert in their field. Okay, so I actually heard this interview that I saw on Instagram about Justin Bieber. So Justin Bieber and his wife Haley. So Justin and Haley Bieber was an interview. And then Justin Bieber asked the host, "What do you think about fasting?" I mean, this is so timely because this is the month of Ramadan. It's a holy month where a billion Muslims all around the world are fasting from sunrise to sundown as part of our faith, commitment, and devotion to God. So when Justin Bieber asked that question to the host was like, I think it's a good thing, you're kind of giving your body a break and all, he gave like, the benefits of it, what his thoughts were. And then Justin Bieber was like, I've never done fasting before. So he is someone who has never done fasting before, but he says that people shouldn't be starving themselves. People shouldn't be starving themselves. It's not good to be starving your body. Your body needs the right nutrients to, to take care of your body. But then Haley Bieber and both of them, Justin and Haley also talked about, oh, but you should do social media fast, sugar fast, this kind of fast because it's good for you. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to let you know on a little statistic that I have done research. And fasting in the month of Ramadan, it is something that we do for the whole month, for the 29, 30 days. But in between that, we also do voluntary or intermittent fasting. And I've been fasting maybe since I was 6 or 7 years old. So it's been a while that I have been fasting. And statistics shows, based on research, it shows that fasting improves mood, quality of sleep, alertness, and a sense of peacefulness. And statistics also show in a research that in a 12-week study, subjects reported a 23% increase in sleep quality due to intermittent fasting. There's a lot of research out there who has shown that fasting brings a lot of benefits. Now, I think my earliest moment with fasting, probably when I was about 6 to 7 years old, maybe a little bit younger. But I remember I was in Malaysia, my mom would wake me up. So mama would wake me up so that we can have sahur, which is the super early breakfast. Remember, we start fasting, no food, no water, no sex as well from sunrise to sundown. So it was super early. I think maybe woke up around 5 or something to have the early morning breakfast. Back home, it was rice, a little bit of, a little bit of food to, in the morning, you can't really eat much, so, but you have to eat something. And this is what is recommended as part of Islamic tradition is to eat something before you start your fast. So you don't go on a 12, 14, 15, 16 hour fast without eating something. You got to have something to sustain your body. So we would wake up at 5 o'clock, and it wasn't easy. It was hard because tired. You have to wake up. So I woke up. I had something, and then once I had the food, when it's time, the adhan or the call of prayer would call in, and we would stop eating, and then I would brush my teeth, go back to sleep a little bit, and then wake up for school. And then the first few days of fasting was the hardest. You got tired because there's a lot of, because your body just had a little bit of shock, because it's been eating for 300 and something days. So about 330 days or so. It's been eating and eating and eating and working and working and working. And then suddenly it's like there's no food within a certain period. So your body starts to get a little bit tired, a little bit shocked, a little bit, oh, there's a little sluggish. Um, and then you would somehow sustain yourself through whatever energy that you have within your body, sustain yourself until back home it was about 7:30. Okay. 7:30, sustain yourself till that. And then you would do it again the next day and the next day and the next day. The first few days, it's always going to be the hardest. But then after a few days, you start to get used to it. I usually in the month of Ramadan, we do the normal things that we usually do. The only thing that we don't do is do any form of physical exercise. Any running or an exercise, we don't do it. But I did it because my dad put us into Taekwondo class. So I was still doing Taekwondo even when the fasting month. And there's something about fasting. The thought, what Justin Bieber says, starving your body in a way that he has, it is logical. His perspective is absolutely logical. You're kind of starving your body to not eat something, right? But if you look at it this way, your body has been working for so long, for 330 days, non-stop processing the food every single time. There'll be a point where your body is going to get burned out. Just like you and me, we're both human beings. And if we don't take a break, we're going to have burnout, right? So you basically kind of give your body a little bit of break, a little bit of vacation if you want to think about it. Let it just rest a little bit. Let it adjust. Let it detox and flushes out things that isn't working. Let it rest. Let it use whatever fat or anything that is excessive in your body to help sustain your body for a period of time, whether it's 10 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours. So that alone, something about your mind, what people call the mental toughness. Because in my mind, I'm like, oh my God, it's so hard. I don't want to do it. I want to drink water. I'm thirsty. I'm hungry. I don't have the energy. All that is constantly going on, right? But then when you make a decision and you make a commitment to commit to something and be steadfast and patient with it, you will see that you will start to fulfill that dream, to fulfill that goal, that you show that your body can handle it. Your body really can handle it. You're stronger than who you think you are, that what you think you are. You're stronger than that. You're more than capable. And it gives like a sense of victory, a sense of accomplishment, a sense of gratitude, a sense of just the being proud of yourself. And then doing it, so it's not just a one-time wonder, but you are making a commitment to do it over and over and over and over again for 29, 30 days, basically what lasts for the whole month. Now, the month of Islamic calendar is based on the moon. So the Gregorian calendar, our traditional conventional calendar, is based on the sun. So the sun is 30 or 31 days, except for February when you have 28 or 29 days. But Islamic calendar, it's 28 or 29, no, 29 or 30 days. So it's shorter. So every time Ramadan would move within the Gregorian calendar this year. It starts in March, at the end of March. Next year it's going to move a little bit further. It's going to be a little bit further. It keeps on, it's going to keep on going. And there is something about this commitment that if I were to do it for superficial reasons, let's say if I were to do it to lose weight, there's a possibility that I wouldn't last for the whole month because it's not big enough, it's not strong enough. I want to lose weight because I want to get into a nice dress. Okay, that's a good goal, absolutely. But for me specifically, for me to have that commitment of restraining myself from certain pleasure for a period of time, I need something bigger. Anything that is, shiny, superficial, that is glory based, isn't gonna last me that long. Certainly not gonna last me for 20, 30 years that I have been doing it. Alhamdulillah, thank God for it, right? Such a blessing. So for me and for the rest of the Muslim, for the 1 billion Muslim around the world, I mean, if we were like so wrong, or we were wrong to be fasting, or we were wrong to be starving ourselves, like Justin Bieber said, or we were, depriving ourselves of things, 1 billion Muslims can be wrong. Even there is scientific evidence that shows the benefit of it. So I had to hook on my why, my commitment to something that is way bigger than superficial, than fame, than glory, or it's the trend nowadays to do intermittent fasting. It's the trend. I want to follow the trend. If I were to hook on that, I wouldn't last. Certainly not for the whole month. Certainly not since I was 6 or 7 years old. And my big reason, there's just one. It is to seek the pleasure and devotion to God. To my Curator. To seek the pleasure and devotion of my faith to the one that owns my soul. Because in the Quran it says that, fasting is a reward that God will reward us. That is, only God knows like how the reward is gonna be incredible. It's so special. Because if you imagine someone is doing something so hard because of their faith and commitment to you. And shouldn't that person be rewarded with something excellent, with something extraordinary? And that's what I seek. My faith, my commitment, the devotion to God, so that He'll be pleased with me, so that I'll be rewarded, so I have His mercy to the one that owns my soul. And that, knowing that something better, something more extraordinary for me, maybe in this life, and hopefully in this life, but certainly in the hereafter, in the in heaven, certainly that part just goes way beyond that. Anything that is logical, that is goes beyond superficial, goes beyond fame and glory. And that's what helped my faith of performing the fast in Ramadan. Yes, there's also the other added aspects to it of having the mental toughness training, losing weight, feeling lighter, feeling cleaner, feeling more energized, feeling, mental clarity, whatever that is. That comes as a result of my commitment to my higher purpose, to my higher power. And that is huge, right? And that is huge. And it's the same thing like how I do it in my business as well. The reason I do what I do with my clients, three main things that I help leaders with is helping them to be best-selling authors, helping them to share their voice on prestigious platforms like media and publications, and also helping them speak on stages. Thus, if I were just to go for the fame and glory, yes, it's also about them sharing their voices and becoming the go-to leader, the go-to expert in their field. But there's something bigger than that I play for. And what I play for is making a big impact and leaving a legacy 50 years on, 100 years on, 200 years on. I want the content that I curate for my clients are seen and heard even past my lifetime, are seen and heard even past my lifetime. That's why I fight for my clients to be seen, heard, and chosen as the go to leader in their field so that they can share their voice, that they can then share their expertise, so that they can make an impact, a big impact, and leave a legacy way beyond our lifetime. Because it is hard work. And if I just go in for the fame and glory, I wouldn't last. And people wouldn't be keep coming back to me or sending me referrals. So it's the same with business, having that mental toughness of making a commitment to something that is bigger than you, and also uh, making a commitment to stick to it. A lot of people make promises and they break it off so easily, so easily. Like my coach once said before, when my eldest baby Abrar, he was about 11, 12 months old, he had to have an emergency operation. And I had to break so many promises to take care of my family. And I thought that I could get away with certain things. Like I thought like, oh, okay, can you make an exception for this training? I had a training, a leadership training. Can you make an exception about this? Because, Abrar had an emergency operation. And my coach was like, no, you still have to complete it, to complete the course. And the next one is going to be in New York. I was living in England then. I'm like, and I was doing my PhD. And I was like, New York? Still have to do it? What do you mean? My baby just had this, and then to New York. I'm a PhD student. I have the funds. And then he just asked me that one question. He said to me, you can make any choices that you want. Any choices that you want. And each choice has an impact. But what does your word mean to you? What does your word mean to you? It's huge, right? So, what does my word mean to me when I had to break so many promises? How do I make my promises whole? And that is the thing about Ramadan is the training, not just the mental toughness of doing something uncomfortable, something that goes way beyond logic, but also keeping that promise through the duration that the promise was made and fighting for it. No matter what happens in the circumstances, when it gets hard, when you get hungry, no matter what happens, you keep on going on. You keep on fighting. Keep on fighting. When you fall down, get back up again and start fighting again. Over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. Okay? So I just wanted to wrap things up with the other day, my son Abrar. So he plays ice hockey. He's been playing he started skating when he was 4 years old, 5 years old, and he started to play when he was maybe 6, 7, 8 years old, roughly. Play ice hockey in a team wise. He just turned 12. So the other day, just the weekend gone, we were fasting, and I told his coach, okay, Abra is fasting. I just want to let you know. So he may not be able to play at his optimal capacity. So just give him some graciousness if he does. So the coach said, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then when we come to the clinic, when we come to the practice session, the coach asked Abrar, hey, If you want to take a break, I know you're fasting, but if you want to take a break, just let me know. And Abba was like, yeah, okay. So this is intense practice, okay, for 1 hour. And Abra gave it all that he's got, and he's fasting. And to me, that's just incredible to see the commitment, the fortitude, the perseverance, the patience, the steadfastness of that he has, and having that mental toughness, and still going for training, and still going for physical activity, even though logically it is absurd. You're fasting, you shouldn't be doing intense sports, but he goes way beyond his logic, and he just played like normal. Even one of the parents was saying that, his name was Brent. Oh, I don't see any reduction of performance, any lack of performance in abroad. I wouldn't know he would be fasting. And that just to show how incredible is fasting is, the strength that you know that you never have, your mental toughness, your capacity, being steadfast in what you do, being committed in what you do. And isn't this the key to success? Whatever success you're seeking, whether it's in relationship, it's in personal, it's in career, it's in academic, it's in business, what friendship, isn't this the key of success? Steadfastness, perseverance, patience, commitment, a fight for what really matters, and understanding when you take away all the superficial stuff, when you take away all the glory, all the fame, all the excitement, what is left? And that is what's going to carry you through. And that is what Ramadan has taught me. If you haven't tried fasting before, go ahead and do it. Even if you can't last for a certain period, just give it a couple of hours. That's how I train my kids. That's how my husband and I train our kids. Okay, start with a couple hours, start with a half a day, and then just increase it and increase it. And both our kids, we have three, obviously Abra and Nadra. Abra is 12 and Nadra is 9. They have started to fast the whole day now. So it's incredible to see what your body can do, what your mind can do, what you are capable of. And look, if it were really such a bad thing of starving ourselves, like Justin Bieber was saying, we would have a certain kind of an adverse effect on it. And yet, I'm still, Alhamdulillah, thank God, which is such a blessing that we're still doing it over and over again. And not just during the month of Ramadan, outside the month of Ramadan, my husband and I perform voluntary fasting. Some people may call it intermittent fasting as well. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much. I hope that if you haven't tried fasting before, go ahead and give it a go. If you have tried fasting before, reach out to me at Instagram at IamDR Izdihar Jamil, at IamDR Izdihar Jamil on Instagram, and let me know your experience about fasting is, okay? All right, everybody, thank you for watching. This is your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And this is It Takes Courage. Be brave, be bold, be courageous in sharing your voice so that you can be seen, heard, and chosen as the go to leader in your field. Okay, everybody, take care. May peace be upon you. Bye.